Hey everybody, it's Alex from Hannemann Ironworks here, and today I'll be making a rack to put my tongs. So I know my tongs have just been strewn all about when I'm smithing, and I need a decent place to put them. So right here on my stump, on my vise, I think it's a perfect spot because my vise is right to the right of my anvil, and I'm going to use this chunk of rebar. I'm going to draw it out to be a bit longer. That's just going to doing it by hand, and I'm gonna make little spikes on each end, and I'm gonna bend it partially so it'll wrap around kind of my stump, so I can put my tongs in and some like baby hammers in. So come along with me on my journey to make a rack. All right, everybody. So it's cold out here. Maybe not that cold, but it's got like negative, it's not quite negative, but I think it's like 30 degrees and 30-mile-an-hour wind, so it's like right at zero. We are getting a big old snowstorm. It's lasting about 3 days, and Peter Collins, a video came out. He's challenging us blacksmiths to show us your rack, eh? Not that kind of rack. Our tong racks. Ooh, it's cold out here. And in this video, I will be making my actual tong rack. I made the tong rack probably about 2 weeks before the challenge came out, and I still haven't uploaded the video. I have a few videos that I'm in the editing process, because I know I'm going to be busy coming up, and for like the next 2 or 3 weeks, I won't be able to get out here. But I have made a few videos just to back up, in case, I'm not going to be out here. But let me show you my tong rack, and again, this video will be making my tong rack. So I did mount it on the stump of my anvil. I drilled holes in here and I tapped it in and over here as well. This got uncovered in the snowstorm, and I'm glad I came out here to find that. But he wants us to show you our tongs. So very first pair of tongs I ever owned, I purchased these from a farrier store. They hold 1/4 inch. I'm not sure they do that anymore. They have widened up a bit just because they've been in the fire and out of the fire quite frequently. They're still very well oiled up and they work nicely. The second pair of tongs, or the first ones I ever made, currently reside cut up in the bottom of my quench barrel, because they snapped right here. Let me see if I can point it out. At the tip of my finger, there is a snap point. I'm not sure how well you guys can see it. If I bend it out a little bit, you can see it a lot better. So I did snap. So I cut them off, and I used, well, that shouldn't be in there. Here's a look into my Mankey tank. This is still good steel. I'm not sure why it's in here. But I used the steel to make that, and this came off that as well. There's a few things I've used that steel for, but it broke on me, so I'm no longer using those. Then the second pair of tongs I ever made was these. They are pieces of crap. They don't work. They still held together, but as you can see, the way they open is the opposite way they close. I know a little bit of adjusting it might work a little better, but they're very light duty tongs, so I don't currently use them. And the third pair of tongs I ever made were these railroad spike tongs. They are a little rusty, but that's just the way it is, and whatever. They work okay. They're a little bit rattly and not quite as tight as I'd like them, and I definitely need to do some modification up to the top of them. But they work. They hold them. And the third pair of tongs, I'm actually proud of these. Are these? They're very beefy. They come out of thick rebar. I just picked this stuff up from the hardware store, but there's 2 of them here, and they make pretty decent tongs. And then, I have just the 2 pairs of pliers I've had forever, and I think that's about it. I'll flip it around. All right, so I'm kind of ducking down under so I avoid the wind that's coming through. It's pretty nasty. So there are my 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of tongs. One of them's functional. but not really. So really 3 pairs of tongs, and the other one I, scrapped and tossed into the depths of hell. Thank you guys for watching this. You guys will continue to see the video of me making the actual physical rack, as that's what I had planned. But this challenge came up, so I figured I'd come out here and just show it off quick. Show you my rack. Yeah. Oh, and if you guys haven't entered into the knot challenge, where you bend a piece of steel into a knot, I'm gonna drop a link to the top, I think right corner. Make sure to go do that. I would love to see a lot more of you guys doing it. I think I have a few entries. James did it. Randy did it. Madworks Trouble did it. I'm pulling blanks. I'm in the middle of nowhere and I'm freezing. But, well, not in the middle of nowhere. I'm out in the forge. Woohoo! Temper. Yeah. So again, go check out the knot challenge. Here's my rack, and here's the rest of the video. Enjoy. And like I have mentioned in other videos, I am still wearing a glove in my right hand due to the burn on the back of my hand. I'm just recording a few videos back to back to back, so I have at least something to fall back on if I'm unable to do some smithing due to the baseball season coming up and me working. I am also using the same exact rebar that I used for my old tongs that failed miserably, that I used in the J-hook video. I'll link to the top left, or no, top right, my bad. It should be like up there. If you guys want to go check out that video if you haven't already. But I'm using the exact same rebar that came from my tongs. Getting quite hot at the back end, and I'm just going to dip it in some water to cool it down. Alright guys, so I've drawn out quite a bit from back here. I'm going to flip it around, quench this back piece, and start tapering out this side. Alright guys, so I have this pretty well drawn out. Originally it was about as long as these tongs because I based these tongs off my old pair of tongs. And it's probably gotten about, it's got like 1.5 or like 150% of what it used to be. So that's pretty awesome. I'm going to leave this little bit of rebar texture in here just for the aesthetic, and I don't want to take more time to remove it. I'm going to flatten this completely out, and then I'm going to curve it a little bit just to match my stump over here, and then I'm going to sharply like twist these in just so I can drive it into my stump. Alright, this side's relatively straight. Now I'm going to take this end, I'm going to taper it down to be even thinner, twist it 90 degrees. Alright, so I'm going to make a bend about 3 inches in at 90 degrees. And from this point of my anvil to the edge right here, like from the very tippy point to here is almost exactly 3 inches. And this is almost 4, or should be 4, but since it's seen use, it's a little bit less than that. But from the tip to the back is 3 inches, so that's where I'm going to bend it. So you can see if it goes in the stump about that much, I'll have about this much room to hang tongs off of. Alright, now it's time to cool this end off and heat this end back up, flatten it, and then I'll bend this gradually. Alright, so on the other side I'm going to flatten it right back out like I did for the opposing side, and then I'm going to bend it at the 3-inch mark, and then I'm going to try and heat the middle up and bend it to fit the shape of my stump. Alright, so there it is. It's that about 3-inch bend, a little bit less, but it's fine. Now it's time to bend this thing. So I'm gonna heat this up. I'm just gonna kind of hold it back here and kind of hit back here just to shape it to my stump. Kind of hot. So it definitely needs to get a lot hotter. Alright, a lot hotter. Definitely getting closer, but not quite there. I'm going to heat this up and bend this. I think there's an adequate. I'll bend this a little bit more. But I'm definitely gonna have to bend this a little bit more and this a little bit more. All right, this is hot. Definitely going to need to bend these out differently, but for right now, this curve is looking good. Now I'm going to bend this piece. I'm actually going to dip this so I can hold over there. Alright, so this is looking pretty good. But it's not quite flat, and these hooks need to come out, or these pegs need to come out a bit. Alright guys, so I'm nearly done with it. The only thing is that when I drew out those squares, they're not exactly perfect with each other, so I'm going to twist that little section where the rebar is to get them to line up perfectly. Because they're like they're a little bit off kilter from each other, ever so slightly, which presents a problem because it's not a flat plane. All right, so I've just twisted it with my glove in the vise, and it seems to be quite flat now. So I'm satisfied with it. I'm gonna cool this down. And I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to drive it into the base of the stump. Alright, so that's been pretty well paste waxed, and I'm going to just let it sit out to cool off. I got bacon. So this is matched almost perfectly with the outside of my stump, except for this little tiny exception. But it doesn't really matter because it fits generally. I'm just going to start tapping it in. Actually, I'm going to go grab a drill and drill some holes in before I just start to put it in. As there is no hard edge for me to hit because it wants to just slide right off. So I'll be back when I have a drill. Alright, so I grabbed a drill. I'm going to try and hang this up quite quite close to the top. There we go. So that's my Tong rack. These are also a pair of flat jaw tongs, but they don't work anywhere near as well as I'd hoped they would. And these ones work a lot better. So that's my Tong rack. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. This is just something super simple. It's definitely a little bit crude, but it's just for me. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you liked it, and definitely comment down below what you thought of it, and anyways I could improve upon it. So thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.